Welcome to the Dr. Nurse Paul Show, hosted by Aspire RN and Dr. Paul. You are watching The Secrets of Next Generation NCLEX. Dr. Nurse Paul is an NCLEX expert, having trained and mentored thousands of international nurses past the NCLEX RN for over a decade. He graduated with a Doctor of Nursing Practice in Texas Christian University. He is a registered nurse, an advanced practice registered nurse, and a certified family nurse practitioner. He also has completed a Certificate for Nurse Educator postgraduate course. Aside from teaching, he has extensive clinical experience in emergency and family medicine. He has over 15 years of combined clinical and academic healthcare experience. Dr. Nurse Paul is an immigrant from the Philippines. He is currently based in Houston, Texas, where he operates his business, Dr. Nurse Paul, and Aspire RN NCLEX Prep. He loves to share his life story of how he overcame his challenges to reach his dreams. He is passionate in helping nurses realize the American dream. So without further ado, let's all welcome Dr. Nurse Paul.
Welcome to the Dr. Nurse Paul Show live on Facebook and YouTube. Happy New Year, everybody, and I wish you guys had a great holiday. We were offline for 2 weeks, but we're back now and we're doing Dr. Nurse Paul Show every Saturdays, 8 a.m. Central Time. So good morning here in the United States. I'm based in Texas, and wherever you are, I hope you're having a great day. Again, thank you for joining the Dr. Nurse Paul Show. And I have so many things to talk about this year. The year has finally come where the next generation NCLEX is finally happening. I don't know if that's something that we're going to be happy about or anxious or sad. But you know what? Let me tell you something. This is why I'm here for. I'm here to help you navigate the next generation NCLEX. I bet there's no other instructors, particularly for foreign graduate nurses like us, that are or that is prepared enough to test you for next generation NCLEX. And good for you because I'm trained here in the United States and I have my ER experience, very helpful for case study. I got you. Don't worry. You join Dr. Nurse Paul and you're going to have a Dr. Nurse Paul guarantee, which means you're going to pass the NCLEX. Hello, everybody. Can you say hi on the comment section? Our team is monitoring it right now. And if you can, please write your nickname, how you want to be called, and your location. I'm based off of Texas. And thank you guys for everyone who's viewing right now. I know it was short notice. We were so busy preparing for the next generation NCLEX and Aspire RN. So if that's something that you guys want to be ready with, why don't you talk to my team right now in Aspire RN and we're going to get to you. We're getting a lot of inquiries recently. We've been flooded with so much inquiries, but don't worry, we're going to get to you. Please keep messaging us, or you can send me an email as well, info@drnursepaul.com if you have questions about our review program. And thank you guys for everyone who's viewing today. If you guys don't mind, can you please share this video right now to your page so we can reach out more nurses. And again, welcome everybody to the Dr. Nurse Paul Show. This is the secrets of next generation NCLEX. Yes, and NGN is finally happening in April 1, 2023. Now, this is going to be a short show because I just want to reintroduce to you the next generation NCLEX. Our season 2, episode 1, which is today, is actually entitled, Are You Ready for It? The next generation NCLEX, are you ready for it? All right? Everybody who's taking the exam after April 1, 2023, please mind that the next gen NCLEX will be starting April 1. NCSBN is finally pushing it out. And we've been ramping in preparation for this ever since last year, right? I've been doing a lot of shows and people are asking me, but here we are, we're doing this show. And that's to help you, guide you, and make sure you know what's going to happen beginning April 1, 2023. But before that, can I be a little honest with you? All right? Just going to be a little honest with you, but please don't hate me. Very important that I want to let you know about this, okay? I know you guys are watching live right now and participating in the comments, and I still want you guys to participate in the comments because I'm still monitoring it, all right? But as you watch this show right now, Dr. Nurse Paul is on a flight. I'm going somewhere. It's a long haul flight. I'm not going to be able to respond after several hours, probably after a day. But I might be able to access Wi-Fi on flight, but definitely not going to be able to do the show on the flight, even if I'm in business class. I don't think I could do it. People are going to be upset if I talk too much. And there's not a lot of internet bandwidth on the flight. So as you're watching this today, I'm not actually here. This is a pre-recorded video. I'm recording it right now at, what time is it on my clock? It's 2 a.m. Central US time, and this is going to go live 8 a.m. So this was recorded 6 hours before your show. And after this, in a little bit, I'm going to head to the airport. I'm ready to take this flight. I'm so excited. You're going to see in the stories what this flight is all about. So excited. I cannot say what it is. It's a very important thing that I cannot divulge right now, but you're going to see in the following days where I'm headed to. I'm very excited about it though, but keep in touch, all right? But listen, even if I'm not actually here live, all right, I'm still doing this show because I don't want to miss the first show for the month, all right? Particularly for the year. This is my first show for the year, okay? So listen to me very carefully, okay? I wish I could do this show with you guys today, but I didn't have a choice because I had to book the flight very quickly. And because I have an important thing that I need to do and I need to be there. And the only thing that will work with regards to my schedule and meeting people, very important people, and I'm actually excited about it. Watch out! I'm going to tell you what that is about in the next coming days. But I only had Saturday as an option, and it was particularly challenging to book a flight because it was too close to the flight date. But anyway, I'm not here with you guys right now. But my team is monitoring the comment section, so please keep using the comments and telling us where you are. And I promise you that as soon as I land and I get an internet access and I'm able to sit with my coffee, I'm gonna be able to respond to you guys. All right. But this is gonna be a very interactive show. I'm going to be walking you through the most important changes of the next generation NCLEX. And then after that, we're going to have a question and answer sessions about the bow tie. I promise you, this is the last time, hopefully in the near future, that I'm going to be doing a recorded session. But in the next coming weeks, all right, I will be live every Saturday. I promise you that. And I want to be live. Actually, it was hard for me to do this because I really want to be in communication and, live communication with my audience. And some of my students in Aspire RN are actually watching this as well. But I really could not do it. So I apologize for that. But in the next couple of shows, I'll be there, I promise. But if you use the comment section right now, we're going to do an interactive question and answer using the bow tie, which is one of the most anticipated what's this update. I'm sorry, mine is freezing. It's 2 a.m. right now. Coffee's not working anymore. But most anticipated update in next generation NCLEX. All right. But we're going to do that later. You're going to help me answer that question. I think that's an easy question, but we'll see how you guys feel about it. And on the next sessions, which I'm going to be announcing later, we're going to do more case studies. Okay. So we're going to do free case study sessions. If you guys are new to the next generation NCLEX or Dr. Nurse Paul show, please log on to YouTube, look for the Dr. Nurse Paul show or my Facebook page right now. Go to my Facebook page. I know we're streaming this in multiple pages right now. But if you go to my page, you're going to see my content that I've developed last year, a couple of months back, last quarter of 2022. I did a lot of info sessions about the next generation NCLEX, why we are changing next gen, what are the different question types, what are the different scoring. And I did 3 different case studies in those shows. So why don't you hit the subscribe button in YouTube right now and in Facebook, or you can also follow me in TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And I'm pushing out many, many things that can help you prepare for the NCLEX. Or even if you're not preparing for the NCLEX, you just want to refresh your nursing skills. I'm putting out a lot of nursing quizzes, NCLEX tips, NGN quizzes, select all that apply questions on my social media. So why don't you get your phone right now and hit that follow button or like button or plus button in TikTok, and I'm gonna see you there. Okay. If I'm not able to respond to you, don't worry, my team will also respond to you today. So please keep using the comment section because as soon as Dr. Nurse Paul lands, I'm gonna watch the comment section and we'll be interacting with you there. I promise. Okay. Anyway, but keep sharing this show. And thank you guys for joining me today, even with short notice. But honestly, today I want to talk about the changes to the NGN. Let me enlarge my slide. There you go. The NGN changes or next generation changes. These are the major changes to the next gen NCLEX. Again, this is happening April 1, 2023. We're less than 3 months away, less than 90 days away. And I'm so excited because I know my students are ready for this. Okay. But anyway, we have changes to the item types, changes to the scoring system, changes to the test plan, changes to the minimum and maximum items. All right. And we're going to talk about that one by one. In the NGN item types, before we have 6 different types, now we have 7 and 14 subtypes. So there will be, of course, the most common exam type is multiple choice. And there's only one type, is a multiple choice. There will be 2 different types of multiple response question, the multiple response select and multiple response select, all that apply. And then we have drag and drop. We have 2 types, the drag and drop table, the drag and drop rationale. We have close. This is a drop down table, drop down questions. We have hotspots or highlighting text, highlighting table. We have matrix and grids, and we have bow tie. So there's different types. If you guys watch my episode 2 in season 1, which was aired around October, I've I've discussed the different types or item types of the NGN, but mainly there are 7 and 14 subtypes. All right. And let's see what else changed. The NGN scoring system, there are now 3 different scoring system. The 0/1 rule, which is all or nothing, which means whether there's 8 options, you only get 1 point if you got all the options correctly, or you get 0 points if one of them is incorrect. All right. And there's now partial scoring system. There are 2 types of partial scoring system. The plus minus rule, which means correct minus incorrect. So say for example, you have 3 correct and 4 incorrect, then your score is 0. But there's also partial scores where if your correct answers are 4 and you got 1 incorrect, then you still get 3 points versus 0, right? So I think this is advantageous for high performing students, for students who are prepared to take the NCLEX. But if you're a low performing student, I'm sorry to say this is gonna be detrimental to your performance. So if you've already taken your NCLEX in the past, or you still can't get above 60% in your question banks that you're using, why don't you message my team right now, and I'm going to help you improve that score so you can pass the NCLEX. And the last scoring system is A equals B, or rational rule, where it's based on pair. If A is correct and B is correct, you get 1 point. If A is incorrect, you get 0 point. If A is correct but B is incorrect, you get 1 point. So it's like cause and effect. So there's a sentence that you need to complete where the first box and the second box, it's actually closed type of questions or drop down should match. All right. So for example, it says ischemic stroke causes blank of the brain or hypoxia, right, of the brain tissues, and usually caused by blank, which is clots, right? So something like that. So you should get 2 words correctly to get 1 point. Otherwise, you get 0 points. So, or you can also get 2 points if you get the 2 words correctly. But something like that. I've given you an example. And if you join the NGN master classes by Dr. Nurse Paul, you're going to encounter a lot of these questions, and I'm going to help you dissect these questions and improve your test taking skills for the next generation NCLEX. All right. Now, before we proceed, do me a favor. Can you please click the share button in your Facebook? Come on, come on, come on. I'll be waiting for a minute. Click that share button now, or tag your friends. If you cannot click the share button, it means you're watching me in YouTube, or you're watching me inside Facebook groups that I'm administrating. All right. So here's what we do: go to your Facebook, type Dr. Nurse Paul on the search page in the homepage of your Facebook, find my page, and you open that page, and I'm streaming live. Right. All you got to do is click that share button. Right. Or you can also copy the link from YouTube and post it in your Facebook. Very important that we share this to your friends, because a lot of people are still asking me what is next generation NCLEX. And Dr. Nursewell has been talking about the next generation NCLEX since July 2022, 6 months ago. In fact, we've been talking about next gen NCLEX since year 2013, when the NCSBN started investigating the need for changes in NCLEX, and it's all about clinical judgment. So if you guys are not aware about what I'm talking about, this is just a summary. I've given a lot of examples in the past. So why don't you click that follow button now and find my videos? Actually, if you go to my YouTube, the playlist, it's more organized, but it's also in Facebook. You can also check the events page in my Facebook, and you can see all the dates that I did my shows for the secrets of next generation NCLEX. All right. Again, thank you for sharing the show, and thank you for joining me today. Even if I'm not personally here, you can send me a message. All right. But don't worry, just pretend that I'm actually doing the live show. All right. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching. I would really appreciate if you put your name in comments or nickname so I can address you properly, and tell me what part of the world you are watching from. I know I have a lot of followers from the Philippines, but I also have a lot of followers from all over the world. And I have students from 30 countries and counting so far. So thank you guys. To my students in Aspire RN, thank you for trusting Aspire RN to prepare you, right? Anyway, you already know how I teach in Aspire RN. You guys enjoy my classes all the time, all right? But anyway, Dr. Nurse Paul is going to be on a holiday for a bit, okay? So watch out. I'll be right back. You know my number. You can text me. That's for my students. But for you, if you're not my student, it's okay. Join my show or send me an email, message me here on Facebook or in YouTube, and we're going to get to you, all right? Anyway, let's proceed. NGN test plan, there are changes. The management of care went down from 20% to 18%. Safety and infection control went up from 12 to 13%. Pharmacological therapies, right here, right, 16% now. Before it's 15%, went up 1%. And the rest are the same. Health promotion, psychosocial, and what's the other one? There's another one that's 9%. I forgot what it is. Okay, I probably have missed something, but there should be eight. Is there eight? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Oh no. Okay. So what we forgot in this slide is basic care and comfort. Basic care and comfort is also 9%. So three categories: psychosocial, health promotion and maintenance, and basic care and comfort are 9%. And physiologic integrity remains at 14%, and the reduction of risk potential stays at 12%. So there will be less management of care, but more safety and infection and more pharmacology. All right. And I know a lot of people don't like pharmacology, but follow Dr. Nurse Paul right now on Instagram and TikTok. I do a lot of reels and TikTok posts about nursing quizzes every week. And I'm focusing heavily on pharmacology because I know that's what you guys like. Right. But listen, if you guys want me to talk about something like a certain topic that you guys don't understand, send in a request in the comment section, right? Like say, hey, Dr. Nurse Paul or Dr. Paul or Paul, you can call me whatever you want. Or P, hey, hey P, why don't you talk about vertigo? I want to know about vertigo or Meniere's syndrome or Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. Talk to me about it because I've encountered it in my school, in my nursing school, and it was in my NCLEX question bank, but I don't understand it. Send in your requests, and I'm gonna make a video out of it. But watch out, okay? I'm gonna make a video of what you guys want, but right now I'm focusing on pharmacology and medical surgical nursing, things that you guys like to listen to. But please like that, click that like button right now, and I'm gonna put out more nursing quizzes. All right. Anyway, let's go further. For your NGN beginning April 1, 2023, the minimum now is 85 from 75. Maximum will be 150 items for a total of 5 hours. And bulk of your exam, look at the pie chart, will be standalone, which means it's by itself. Each question is different. All right. But about 21% will be case study, which is actually 18 questions in your minimum items of 85. All right. So case study, here's how it is. It's like an evolving case scenario. There's an evolving case about a patient. It's like a story, all right? Every hour or every 2 hours or every time there's a new question that changes appear. Like, okay, now the patient's having hypovolemic shock. Okay, now the patient's in the ICU. Okay, now the patient is being resuscitated. So it changes all the time. You got to read the chart because there are changes, all right? It's usually one case and composed of 6 questions, all right, to address the case, the clinical judgment model, which I'm going to talk about. If you guys don't understand what I'm talking about, I did a lot of case studies in my previous episodes. Watch my previous episodes in Facebook and YouTube, all right? I know a lot of you guys have been following me already, but thank you. Anyway, pre-test is about 15 items in 85 items. So that's about 17% if you're taking the minimum. The total is 5 hours, whether you take 85 or 150 items, okay? And for the case studies, again, for the minimum items of 85, there will be 3 case studies. Each case study will have 6 questions. Question number 1 will be about recognizing cues. Question number 2 will be about analyzing cues. Question number 3 will be about prioritizing hypothesis. Question number 4 is about generating solutions. Question number 5 is about taking actions. Question number 6 is about evaluating outcomes. In our future shows, we're going to do more case studies. Okay, so why don't you join me? Hit your like button now for the Dr. Nurse Paul page, my actual page, not in the group where you're watching or on YouTube, because it will notify you every time I put up an events calendar like poster. So every time I put up an event that says, "Oh, I have a show this time," it's gonna notify you right away, so you can join and you can remember. Okay. And anyway, this is the clinical judgment model. If you don't understand what I am talking about, it's discussed in my previous shows, but I'll also discuss this in the future shows. So don't forget to follow me. All right. Have you shared this show yet on your profile? So please keep sharing and tagging your friends in this show so many people can watch this show. Okay. And I'm going to watch it as well later because I know I'm not doing it live. Like I said earlier in the show, I'm not here right now, because as you are watching this, I'm taking a flight. I'm on the flight right now. But that's why I recorded it way ahead of the show. This is the first time I did it, but we don't want to miss the first show for the year. Unfortunately, I have to fly. So what I did was record this. It's 2 a.m. right now in my time clock. And I'm doing this so my team can show it to you at around 8 a.m. Central Time. So I'm recording it 6 hours ahead. That's why I haven't slept yet. All right. But I really am committed to put up this show because I know you guys are craving for more next generation NCLEX style question. All right. Now let's try this question. It's a bow tie question. Bow tie question looks like this. All right. You guys are ready to answer with me? All right. Okay. So try to use the full screen. I'm going to use my full screen method too because I couldn't read it. It's 2 a.m. and my ring light is so bright. Anyway, thank you guys for sharing this show and thank you for watching. Honestly, I really appreciate your support to Dr. Nurse Paul. And if you think you need guidance with the NCLEX, I know some students don't need a review program, but honestly, to my students who are Aspire RN students, can you please, guys, put in the comments what you like about our program in Aspire RN? Can you tell them about, having a student advisor guide you about your study plan, having mentors, having being able to talk to Dr. Nurse Paul about your concerns, and really, please, let other people know that are watching this show why you enjoy studying with Aspire RN and why do you keep following Dr. Nurse Paul and Aspire RN. So why don't we put this, guys, in the comments right now so people would see what we do and why we are different, right? So the reason why Aspire RN is different is because I'm devoted, I'm committed to this program. I'm the one who created the curriculum. I'm the one who created all the things that, my instructors follow. I'm not the only one teaching. I've got loads of different instructors who are expert in different topics, but I'm the one who's making sure that all the instructors are quality and are following the standard that Dr. Nurse Paul has put. I've been in NCLEX industry for 16 years. Thousands of students has passed the NCLEX already under me, and I can help you as well. Okay, but anyway, let's talk about bow tie. This is how bow tie looks like. I don't know why I lost one slide, but I was gonna show bow tie here, but it's not here. Anyway, ready for the question. The question says the nurse is in the emergency department caring for a 79-year-old female client. At 12:15, look at the nurse's notes on the left side. Client presents with right-sided ptosis, facial droop, right-sided hemiparesis, and expressive aphasia. Client's adult child reports that the client recently had influenza. On assessment, skin is warm and dry, lung sounds are clear, apical pulse is irregular. I'm sorry, I lost it. Irregular bowel sounds are active in all quadrants. Client is incontinent if urine 2 times in the ED. Adult child reports that the client is typically continent of urine. Capillary refill of 3 seconds. Peripheral pulses palpable 2 plus. That's normal. Sorry about that. Vital signs 97.5 Fahrenheit. Pulse is 126 high, right? Respirations 18, blood pressure 188 over 90, that's high. Pulse oximetry reading 90% on room air. Okay, now I'm gonna be at the bottom left side so you can see me talking, making sure that I'm still here. Now the nurse is reviewing. Let's look at the right side, the question side. All right, the right side is right here, all the way there. The nurse is reviewing the client's assessment data to prepare the client's plan of care. Complete the diagram. This is called bow tie, guys. Look at it, right? So the bow tie is like a butterfly or like a bow tie, right? So there's two wings, action to take on the left side, parameters to monitor on the right side. On the middle, which is what you're going to answer first, all right? The middle, you answer that first. Is what condition are you thinking about? Like, what's your diagnosis? What's your analysis for this case, all right? So complete the diagram from the choices below to specify what condition the client most likely experiencing, two actions the nurse should take to address the condition, and two parameters the nurse should monitor to assess the client's progress. You ready? So let's hold on. Wait. Look at the left side again, right here at the top, right? There's history and physical, and there's lab results, right? There's lab results right there, right? So let's open the history and physical. Let's see what it says. Oh, there you go. So body system, neurological, the patient has a history of stroke 2 years ago. Cardiovascular, hypertension, AFib, hyperlipidemia. Gastrointestinal, patient has GI bleed just 2 months ago. And endocrine has diabetes mellitus. And immunology, patient had influenza 3 weeks ago. This is a lot of stuff going on with the patient right now, but we're going to focus on what's going on today as the patient is being seen in the emergency department. This is why I love the ED, because this is what we do every day. And you guys are in the right hands. If you trust Dr. Nurse Paul, I've been an ER nurse for a long time, and this is something that we do in the ER, okay? And let's look at the labs. Let's click the labs. And what does it say? All right. The sugar random serum is 76, right? The normal should be around 82 to 115. If you look at the left side above, right? 82 over 115, right? So this is what's good in the next gen NCLEX. Your lab values will now be shown, okay? So you don't have to memorize lab values already. Yay! That's awesome, right? You know, back when I took the NCLEX 15 years ago. Can you imagine it? But when I took my NCLEX, we have to memorize the lab values. We have to memorize the brand names of medications. You don't have to do that no more. You're so lucky, okay? So again, let's look at what's going on here, all right? 76 milligram per DL. That's normal. So this is not diabetes. This is not hypoglycemia. You know, the problem with hypoglycemia is the symptoms of hypoglycemia is very similar to stroke. That's why one of the things that we do is if they're presenting with possible stroke, oops, I think I said the answer. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so sorry. But yeah, we check the sugar. All right. If you work in the ER, we have protocols that we do all the time to make sure we're checking all the differential diagnosis, is what we call it. All right. But in nursing, since we cannot use the word diagnosis because it's too medical, we say prioritizing hypothesis. It's the nursing hypothesis. It's your differential diagnosis. But what condition is the client most likely experiencing? Hmm? Bell's palsy is only the face. The patient has hemiparesis or hemiparesis. And this is not hypoglycemia because, again, the sugar is 76. Answer is ischemic stroke. And if it's UTI, 79-year-old, if it's UTI, there should be confusion, there should be urinary pain, but there should be no hemiparesis, all right? There should be no weakness on one side. There should be no facial droop. Those are obviously stroke. That's why I told you. I feel like this question is very easy. Who got this correctly? Anyone? Anyone? Like I said, when you do bow tie, this is a bow tie type of question, right? You do the middle first because that's where you get the answers for the other, all right? Who got it correctly? Who got it correctly? Say yes, say yes, say yes, say yes. All right, very good. All right, now let's go to two priority actions. What actions would you take? Pick two. Pick two. Oxygen, request a prescription for steroid, insert venous access device, obtain urine specimen, request for order of dextrose 50. Let's remove the last option, dextrose 50, that's only for hypoglycemia. Let's remove what? Steroid. Why would we jump to steroid right away? Is this a spinal cord injury? Is this a cerebral edema? What is going on? Let's remove that. Okay. So what are your priority answers? Remember your ABC, right? Establish airway breathing, circulation, right? And your answer is oxygen, right? And venous access device, because you want to put an IV in and you want to give oxygen, because I mean ischemic stroke is ischemia, right? Hypoxic problem, and you want to start an IV because what's the most important pharmacological treatment for ischemic stroke? Knowing that the most common symptom is clot. Do you need to give clot busters? Yes. Okay. What do you call that drug class in pharmacology? It's antithrombolytics, right? Give me an example. The one that we use here in the States and the one that you're going to answer in the NCLEX is alteplase, all right? Alteplase, which is a tissue plasminogen activator, right? TPA. So you use alteplase, that's your antithrombolytic, right? The way we give it is we do zero point 0.9. You don't have to write this down, but of course, that's why it's very important, guys, important that you have instructors that are actually practicing here in the States, because there's a lot of instructors there. I'm sorry to say, oh my God, please, please, I don't want to be mean. I'm so sorry. But they don't have clinical experience. So they just tell you, okay, give alteplase. But honestly, there's so much things that you need to talk about alteplase, and that's a SATA question in NCLEX, right? We give it zero point 0.9 milligram per kilogram, right? First 10% bolus, the last 90% over 1 hour, cannot be given for cannot be given for hypertension. It's going to cause a bleed. Cannot be given for patients with allergy. Cannot be given for patients taking aspirin. Cannot be given for patients who had TPA recently. Cannot be given for patients who are at risk for bleeding. So many considerations. It's a sad question, but it helps when your instructor is in the United States, because we actually practice what is in the NCLEX. We know what we're talking about, particularly for foreign graduates. You know why? Because we're not educated in the United States. If you enroll in American Review Centers here, they talk fast, right? They do this and that. They don't have long classes like what we do in Aspire RN, right? Because all their students are Americans. American students are pretty good out of school. They pass 86% national pass rates, while Filipinos and other races, non-US, have 46% pass rate. We fail. More of us fail than actually pass. More people fail than pass. 46 out of 100 people pass. 54 people out of 100 fail, versus 86 for American nurses. Why? Because their educations here matches the NCSBN competencies. And that's what we don't have outside the US. That's why I've seen a lot of foreign graduates having issues with the NCLEX. And that's why I built Aspire RN. It's for curriculum gaps. It's to prevent that gap, close that gap, and make sure that you know all these things before you enter your or take your NCLEX exam. And that's the disadvantage if you enroll in centers with instructors that are not trained in the US, all right? Because I mean, they can only read the book and tell you what's going on the same way that when you read the book, it's the same thing, right? Very important that if you want to partner or pass the NCLEX, to actually make sure that you are working with people who know what they're talking about, right? Now, for some students, question banks work. You can get a lot of question banks. A lot of them are free in YouTube. But many students don't have the great foundation needed for question banks. If you just avail the question bank from another company and all your scores are below 50%, let me tell you something. It's not working for you. Why? Even if you answer 1,000 questions, if you don't have the foundation and you don't even know what we're talking about when we say thrombolytics and the antidote and the SATA questions for thrombolytics, or what is ischemic stroke versus Bell's palsy, or why ischemic stroke and why not hypoglycemia, or why are we not giving steroid here, or why are we not giving dextrose here, why is it not the option? It means that the question bank alone is insufficient to help you pass the NCLEX. And now you add up to it the next generation NCLEX, right? It makes it even harder for you. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Now, if this is you, you're a student that don't understand what I'm talking about because your pathophysiology foundation is weak, you're not educated in the American way of education, let me help you. If you failed your NCLEX in the past, let me help you. If you're a busy student, I have study plan for busy students, let me help you. Okay? But message me and my team and I'll help you. All right? But anyway, sorry about that. I'm just a little fired up to talk to you guys about it. It's New Year. It's about time that we set our goals and make sure we're not wasting money and we're not wasting time. When you join Dr. Nurse Paul, I'm going to make sure that you're not wasting your money, and my students right now in Aspire RN can attest to that. By the way, Dr. Nurse Paul, that's me, but my company is Aspire RN. I built this 3 years ago, and we have expanded since, and more people are joining us. So if you're interested, message us right now and my team will get to you. Okay. Now let's go to the parameters to monitor. Can you help me with that? So we have urine, we have temp, neurologic status, glucose level, EKGs. Let's remove glucose because we already established it's 76. I'm going to check urine. I'm going to take out urine output. I can check that later, but it's not really a concern because we're not talking about blood pressure. We're not talking about UTI. We're not talking about possible renal failure. What are we going to monitor? What you guys think? I'm going to monitor two things, right? Neurologic status, one, because this is this is stroke, right? If you're giving thrombolytics, you want to make sure that the patient is improving. And this is very important, all right? What scale or scoring system do we use to check for stroke? Anyone? What scoring system? You got to be trained with this, especially if you're an ER nurse, ICU nurse, neurologic ICU nurse, neurologic medical floor nurse, neurologic OR nurse. What is that? It's called NIHSS, National Institute for Health Stroke Scale, right? It's a 42-point scale where you score 11 or 12, I think, right? It's 12 with 0 up to 2 points, depending on the patient response. That's a lot of points that you guys need to be trained. And when we're giving thrombolytics, I've given a lot of thrombolytics, and this is like a miracle drug. I've seen patients given alteplase, having stroke, and then bam, after 15 minutes, it's like nothing happened. The stroke is gone. Why? Because the clot is already dissolved, right? I don't know if you guys have that experience. Has anyone experienced that? For those experienced nurses out there, right? It's a miracle drug. I call it a miracle drug, right? I like it, but it's also very dangerous. That's why we have to be at the bedside for 1 hour. We need to check NIHSS every 15 minutes for the first 1 to 2 hours. All right, I think it's 4 hours actually, right? Because the patient can bleed. And we have an antidote. It's called aminocaproic acid, but that's for another lesson, guys. I'm talking so much about stroke. I love teaching medical surgical nursing, right? And if you want to learn more about this, well, join Dr. Nurse Paul, all right? And Aspire RN. Okay. I hope you guys are learning, even if I'm not here and I recorded this. I really apologize, but thank you guys for sticking out with me. And the last answer is EKG. Why do we need to check the EKG? Yep. You see the history of the patient. Do you remember the history? Cardiovascular. The patient has a risk for AFib, right? That's the answer. But why is AFib significant for this case? Listen, and this is an NCLEX question. Don't you know that AFib produces clots and clots can trigger stroke? In fact, atrial fibrillation is the most common cardiac disorder that causes stroke. It's the most common electrophysiological cardiovascular, that's long, disorder that can lead to stroke. So you have AFib and you didn't take your warfarin, you create clots. Clots go to the brain, patients go into stroke, right? Easy, but got to master those things because that's how at Next Gen NCLEX test you. Clinical judgment, right? If you don't have this good foundation and you could not follow Dr. Nurse Paul is talking so much about stroke, guys, this is the best time to do it with me, with Aspire RN, all right? Let's do it, right? Make an investment for yourself. This is an investment, okay? Make sure that you only take your NCLEX once. I don't want you to repeat your NCLEX. I don't want you to come to me and say, I tried this so and so and so and so and so program. I failed. Well, maybe the methodology doesn't work at all right? In Aspire RN, I'm not bragging, but everybody who passed my exam readiness assessment or the NCLEX predictor exam have passed the NCLEX 100% because that's how accurate my program is. That's how accurate my NCLEX predictor exam is. And if you don't pass after completing my program, let me tell you something. You have the doctor nurse Paul guarantee. You come back to my review program, I'm going to personally mentor you and make sure you pass the second time around, right? Anyway, you got questions, you can contact me at Dr. Nurse Paul. Follow me, all right? Let me change my layout so you can see my face better. There you go. Thank you guys for joining. And I'm sorry if I look very sleepy. Time now here is 2:30 something. All right. But thank you guys for joining. Um, Follow Dr. Nurse Paul, your next gen NCLEX expert. Let's say your next gen NCLEX friend, right? I'm here to help you. I have a lot of different programs. I'll be offering the next gen NCLEX master classes beginning February. We haven't updated our website yet, but keep in touch. I'm gonna put out the information very soon. I'm gonna do the NGN master classes. But again, don't attend my master classes if your foundation is not good, right? Start with my full course. I have a full course where you start from didactic classes, where you do live classes first, and then you go to NGN master classes, which is question and answer with the Dr. Nurse Paul. All right. And thank you guys for watching today. I hope I recorded this really well. If there are parts that are jumping and it's not good, let me know because I think I have another copy of this, but somebody's messaging me already. But thank you guys, Dr. Nurse Paul. Again, thank you. Who got 5 points in that question? Can I see? Can I see? All right. And if you have questions, you want me to talk about something in my TikTok page or in my next shows, follow me or send me a message info at Dr. Nurse Paul and I'm gonna get to you. Okay. If you have a compelling story that you want to share to people of how you passed the NCLEX, and particularly if you were my student in Aspire RN, message me as well. I would like to talk to you and share to the world how you succeeded the NCLEX. All right. Thank you, everybody. And again, every Saturdays we have two episodes or two shows. Every first and third Saturdays of the month, Secrets of Next Gen NCLEX. And on the second and fourth Saturdays of the month, USA Nurse Series. So next week, we're going to do the USA Nurse Series, and I'm going to stream it live in another part of the world because I'm going to be on a trip. I'm very excited to have one of my friends join me, very popular in the Lefora group that I also administrate. It's going to be a surprise. But we're going to talk about the first 3 months in NCLEX. All right. And that's January 14, 8 a.m. Central Time. On January 21st, we're going to do another Secrets of Next Gen NCLEX, and we're going to do a fresh case studies. All right. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching this show. When I come back for the next generation NCLEX on third Saturday, but honestly, please watch me every Saturday. I'm discussing a lot of very important thoughts and things that could help you. Like the USA Nurse series, I've talked a lot about, contracts and legalities of contracts. I've invited immigration lawyers, my dear friend Attorney Nick Urkel in the past shows. But honestly, watch my previous shows. You're gonna learn a lot with your life as a nurse or migrating if you're migrating here to the United States. But also, I have a lot of secrets of NGN shows. But thank you guys for allowing me to have this show, even if I'm really not present here today. But thank you for being interactive. Thank you for your messages. I'm going to read it later. But my team is on standby right now. They're actually online. And thank you for joining the Secrets of Next Generation NCLEX, the Dr. Nurse Paul Show. All right? Thank you guys. And again, if you have questions, info at Dr. Nurse Paul. and I'll see you soon. Bye.
You have just watched the Dr. Nurse Paul Show. Watch us live every Saturday, 8 a.m. Central U.S. Time. For more info about our future events, follow us on our social media channels. You can find us at Dr. Nurse Paul on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. See you next week.